Our top focus, the Uttar Pradesh government report on child deaths in the Muzaffarnagar relief camp says that the children did not die due to the cold conditions there. In fact, the state government's argument is that nobody would have survived in Siberia if cold was the reason for deaths. But the apathy apart, what the report does do is contract the Samajwadi Party chief's claim that there were no riot victims left in this camp.
After the injury, it's the insult. Days after SP Supremo Mulayam Singh claimed that there were no riot victims in the relief camp of Muzaffarnagar, the UP government has now given itself a clean chit, ruling out cold as a reason for deaths of children in relief camps. In fact, UP's Principal Secretary Home Affairs A.K. Gupta making this shocking comment.
जो हमारे पास रिपोर्टेड हैं 2-3 केसेस 4 केसेस ऐसे हैं जिसमें उन्होंने निमोनिया बताया है। ठंड से मरा कोई नहीं बताया है। ठंड से कभी मरता कोई नहीं। अगर ठंड से मरते तो साइबेरिया में कोई ना बचता।
The report prepared by the UP government claims that most children died because of premature birth, dysentery and pneumonia, even going so far as to allege that since riot victims preferred taking their patients to private hospitals, the state government is in no way responsible for deaths. The Chief Minister may feign concern and warn those who politicize the issue. But by mocking those innocents caught in the crossfire and absolving the state of any blame, isn't his government doing exactly that? Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Shocking denial they're coming in from the UP government. We have Amir Haq joining us live from Lucknow. Amir, the SP government living in denial. Now they're blaming it all on pneumonia. They don't even realize that happens because of the cold conditions also in a particular area.
Well, definitely, Vedika, and UP government has, although finally, accepted that there were 34 deaths of infants, especially in families that were there, that were living in the relief camps in Muzaffarnagar and Shamli. But as far as accountability and responsibility is concerned, they are not taking direct responsibility of these deaths. They are, in fact, saying that most of these deaths occurred outside the relief camps, and that the people living there chose to take their patients to private practitioners and hospitals and nursing homes outside the relief camps. They also do not acknowledge that there was some problem with the medical facilities that were being provided to these riot victims at the relief camps itself. And they say they perhaps that the facilities were all in the right earnest, but the patients were taken outside, and therefore the deaths happened outside the purview of these relief camps. Therefore they are not responsible. Also, the report in itself does not place any accountability with any of the government officers or the state government itself, which was supervising relief operations there and was in charge of relief camps. So therefore, this entire report seems to be an eyewash, a mockery of a report as far as the basic details are concerned.
Amir, do stay with me. Let's listen into the UP government bizarre reaction once again.
जो हमारे पास रिपोर्टेड हैं 2-3 केसेस 4 केसेस ऐसे हैं जिसमें उन्होंने निमोनिया बताया है। ठंड से मरा कोई नहीं बताया है। ठंड से कभी मरता कोई नहीं। अगर ठंड से मरते तो साइबेरिया में कोई ना बचता।
Surprising reaction, Amir. One doesn't know what to do really when you hear something like that from the UP government. But this is triple tragedy for those refugees in the riot-struck area. First, they had to face deaths. They had to face a lot of tension in that area. After that, you had the SP chief come out and talk about how the conspirators, both by the BJP and the Congress, that are still living in those camps. And now you have the UP government come out and say, yes, there have been deaths, but they've been out of the cold. Not out of the cold, they've been because of pneumonia. Triple tragedy really for these victims.
Well, definitely, Vedika, and we at Headlines Today have shown at length the plight of people living there, the riot victims living in the relief camps, because they do not even have basic facilities over there. Basic sanitation is not being taken care of. They do not have food being provided by the state government. And then definitely when SP Supremo Mulayam Singh comes out and says that people living there are not actually riot victims, and but in fact Congress and BJP workers, it definitely leaves them nowhere to go. So, although on the other side, when we spoke to Principal Secretary Home as well as the ADG Law and Order, both these very senior government officials here in Uttar Pradesh, they both said that people living in the relief camps are actually riot victims, and that there are no political workers over there. So definitely that belies the claim being made by SP Supremo, and definitely makes it very, very embarrassing for the state government as well.
Amir, are we expecting some action from the NHRC over the statement made by the UP government?
Well, the National Human Rights Commission has issued a notice to the Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh as well as the district magistrates of both Shamli and Muzaffarnagar districts, asking them to furnish a report within 4 weeks on the deaths of children, as has been reported by media. But definitely, since the report has already been prepared by Meerut Commissioner, it seems the same report, which was earlier requisitioned by the Supreme Court of India, will be furnished to NHRC as well. But as far as accountability and responsibility is concerned, again, the government does not take any responsibility for these deaths.
Right, Amir, thanks for joining us on the big story. We, of course, will try to get some reaction from the SP government as well as Congress and the BJP on this shocking statement being made by the UP government.